Satchidananda, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda Satchidananda, Ananda, 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 Ananda Satchidananda, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda Satchidananda, Ananda, 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 Ananda Satchidananda, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda Satchidananda, Ananda, Ananda, Ananda,
If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. Takes you on its shoulders. If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. If you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. Takes you on its shoulders. Put you on its shoulders. Put you on its shoulders. If you don't fight with life, if you don't fight with life, if you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. Simply helps you. If you don't fight with life, if you don't fight with life, life simply helps you. Simply helps you. Put you on the shoulder. Put you on the shoulder.
It is that time already. Good morning, Unity of Payson. I have to quiet down. I have to quiet down the audience here in person. It's right up here. I'm right at the mic. So good morning. Good morning. We have a lot of good conversation. So here we go. And I'm looking for a response this time. Good morning, Unity of Payson. Okay. Thank you. And good morning to those of you who are joining us virtually this morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay, well, good. We hear it. We hear that feedback. Thank you. It's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful day in Payson. Mild temperatures, sunny. We are grateful, so grateful for this place that we live in, for this particular weather. Not too hot, not too cold. Oh, that seems like something that comes out of Revelation. Anyway, that are part of our lives. And for those, we are grateful. And yes, we're even grateful for the things that are disturbing, chaotic, whatever our viewpoint is, whatever's in our lives individually or as a community, we're grateful for that. We know that there's purpose behind it because nothing happens without purpose. When we are in the divine flow, we make sense of that. We allow purpose to surface in our lives. So as we gather this morning to consider being in the flow, to be together, we are thankful. And so it is. Amen. So we have an opening song that we're going to put up, and it's I Choose Joy by Terry Wilder. And Donna, you're going to come up and choose joy with me up here? Okay. Go ahead, Tom.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning round, I choose joy. I choose joy. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost the groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. I choose joy. When hate is all I see, I choose joy. I choose joy. When fear won't let me be, I choose joy. I choose joy. When betrayal and lies hide the light from my eyes, I look up to the skies and I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. In this moment right here, choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Find a stable ground, peace and hope abound. I hear a sweeter sound. The chains have come unbound. Love is all around when I choose joy. In this moment right here, I choose joy. I choose joy. For the ones that I hold dear, I choose joy. I choose joy. To be who I must be, for the light to shine in me, for everybody to be free. I choose joy. I choose joy. And everybody will be free when I choose joy. I choose joy.
That was good. Getting our yayas out early in the morning. Wow. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. We are glad you're with us this morning, those here in person and those virtually, and those watching on recording later on. Let's see. We want to recognize anyone. Who's Jim? Parker. Hey, Jim. Jim is pretty new. He joined us online about 2. You have to unmute. Maybe not. Okay, you could put it in the chat. I forget do you know where he's from? Yeah, Christopher Creek area, Heber, I think. Okay, well, I'm glad you're here. And please remain after the service, those online and those in person, for fellowship and for Reverend Neal to greet you. Okay, there's an echo now. Hello? Okay, gratitudes. It's time for gratitudes. We're grateful for those who support Unity of Payson with your time, talent, and treasure. We're grateful for all the events that we continue to have each week, and both in person and virtually. The technology that helps us, I mean, both in person and virtually. I just got off track from the loudness, sorry. If you have a gratitude to share, please raise your hand. And if you're online, you'll need to unmute. Tom, are you saying that Jim didn't hear me before? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. All right, great. So, we didn't do our welcome prayer, did we? Did we? No, I want to do our welcome prayer. Sorry. Let's say our welcome prayer together. What? We love you. We appreciate you. We welcome you, and we bless the Christ you are. And if you didn't hear me before, hi, Jim. Welcome back from Heber. All right. Now, gratitudes. If you have a gratitude to share, please raise your hand. And Betty has the mic, and Sue has a gratitude. Yep. You turn it on. It was on before. Technology today.
I have a lot of gratitudes this morning. I was down in the valley for a few days and I had some appointments, and I'm so grateful for, my doctors, counselors, service people. And then I get to stay with my grandkids. And so that is always a great joy. And then yesterday I attended their rally down there.
Oh.
And I am so grateful for all the people who are standing up for what they value and what they feel this country values. And I was so excited to hear they had 300 people up here in Payson.
In Payson,
So
yes.
that is amazing.
It is amazing. Thank you for your service, Sue.
Yeah, coming back to Betty.
Yeah, thanks, Sue. I was at the Payson rally on the sidewalk, and there were a ton of us, and the vast majority of people driving by, thumbs up, honking horn, even the big truckers. Very few, I only counted maybe a dozen or so negative comments or whatever. And so it was so fun to be with everybody.
So I want to capitalize on something you said, Sue, that values are important. Our values are important in this time. And a Unity of Payson, we're not political, but we've got values. And I'm excited about being able to push forward those values here in our community, our small community, and the larger community as well. Somebody else. As Rick does.
People online have something in the chat.
Well, I just want to say thank you for my eldest granddaughter turning 21. I think must have been a teenager when I was first married. I'm not sure how that worked, but she's an amazing young woman, a great example, scholar and an athlete and good person and whatever. I am blessed with.
And that makes you 39, right?
Can we read some of the ones in the chat?
Would you do that, Tom? Would you read those? I can't see from here.
I'll read them. Okay. So Teresa's saying gratitudes for a country where we can show up and speak our minds. Thank the universe for the First Amendment. Thanks for all peaceful gatherings over the USA yesterday. Teresa, again, I was the one who counted people at the rally, approximately 259, wait, 300? See my gratitude above. And Bobby and John, grateful for the support of our chosen family.
Yay. Same here, same here. Love the chosen families. Oh, okay. All right, so unity is grounded in meditation and affirmative prayer. And we have prayer chaplains to support you. There's 3 of us here today. We have the prayer chaplain Stolan. So after service, if you would like some prayer, please tap one of us on the shoulder and we will find a space to sit with you. And for those online, we have an email address, neil.unityofpayson@gmail.com. You can send your requests there. And Unity of Payson prayer team will pray with you for 30 days and then forward your request to Silent Unity for another 30 days of 24/7 prayer vigil. Very powerful, very powerful. Okay, and if you would like to be contacted by a prayer chaplain during the week, leave your contact information with your request. Unity of Payson's theme for April, in the flow. And let's say our affirmation together. As I recognize divine flow, choose to trust it and align with it, I flourish. And as I rise, all rise. I heard that somewhere. Let's see. First Sunday, Unity mission and vision statement. Excuse me. Join with me in heart, mind, and voice as we affirm our mission statement. We honor the spirit within, join together as one diverse family, and serve the community with love and joy. I'm not going to read the vision statement. Let's prepare for meditation as we listen to our meditation song. And that's Amen by Daniel Nahmod.
Yeah, sound up there. All right. I'm gonna stop. I don't know what's going on. Just leave it go, Tom. All right. Take some time with me now to center yourself, to bring your attention fully to this time and the place where you are. Let your feet feel the earth, and the top of your head feel the sky as you breathe. Notice your breath. Stay with that for a moment. And I want you to imagine with me that you're walking through a green, lush meadow. Small trees, thick grass. And you come to a river flowing completely peacefully. Just one continuous motion of flow. And you sit by that riverbank and you enjoy being there and nowhere else. And then the picture changes. Suddenly it's a divine flow. It's immense. It's powerful, but yet still peaceful. And you step into that flow. You surrender. And you allow it to take you where it will. Stay with that image as we spend time in silence. Do you feel the flow? Do you notice that you're connected with others in that very same flow? There's nothing you have to do but allow. And so with great gratitude, we come back to the present moment. Knowing the fullness of being in the divine flow. Bring your awareness now back to this time and place where you are. Open your eyes. Take another deep breath. And so it is. This is an unusual quiz this morning. Finding Flow is our title. And, well, we won't make it a quiz. I tell you what, right at the start, I know you're all going to take it in. Those of you who are here, those of you who are virtual, Those of you who are virtual, I'm giving you a blessing ahead of time. Those of you who are here, you get the blessing too, but you get the prize. There's a prize corner back there. Now, I'd like you to stop by and choose something that you'd like to take with you. 1934, a boy was born in Hungary, the son of a career diplomat, and he was a scholar right from the very beginning, curious. And so he pursued his studies and at 22 emigrated to the United States, went to study at the University of Chicago. Eventually, he went through graduate programs and received his PhD in the field of psychology, and particularly positive psychology. And what he chose to study was happiness and creativity. So that's why he was sometimes known as the person that kind of led the way in that positive philosophy or positive psychology movement. He's also called the architect of flow because he brought that term, even though it has ancient roots, brought that term into the awareness of first the psychological community and then of us all, because now we know what everybody's saying when they say, I'm in the flow. So anybody know the name of this person? No. What? No. No, all good, all good. Donna, you can't. Okay, tell us. What, how do you say it? You It's an old Hungarian name. I tried to have a slide so you could see it written out, and you look at it, you say, how in the world do I pronounce this one? Anyway, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi was the leading researcher in that positive psychology era, 40 years, named the father of flow. And he did this by conducting a great number of interviews with people to understand what it was to have happiness in life, to have creativity, and to be in the flow, as he began to call it. And we all followed along and continued to say that too. He wrote a couple of books. One was called Flow, and the other one, Finding Flow. Well, he wrote some more than that, but those two particular ones. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. But a great legacy, and we see the many ties between that psychological approach and the spiritual approach. So I didn't think anybody would get it because you probably couldn't pronounce the name. I had to go to the, you can go to Google and find out how to pronounce the name. Yeah, that's Donna helped me on that. Thank you, Donna. So today I want to talk a little bit about defining flow, because we're beginning this month-long series on flow. A little bit about some characteristics, the key characteristics that I'm pulling out with regard to finding flow, and of course, a few steps to finding flow. Let me give you a definition that I like a whole lot. Flow is described as spontaneously arising when we become immersed in an activity so completely that we lose track of time. This is that psychological definition. It has those deep roots in the English language. We have other words, fluid, float, all comes from that same root. So you get the idea, kind of a river that's there from the beginning. And that goes back all the way to Greek philosophers and before. It's found in Eastern religions, all this sense of that flow of life. The river is used, of course, as a metaphor for life, ever changing, but ever moving as well. Csikszentmihalyi said that the people he interviewed described the feeling as being carried away in a current. A smooth, almost automatic stream of action and attention. Got a little bit of an idea of what flow is about? Let's take it further and talk about some characteristics of flow. One of the characteristics is complete absorption. Have you ever been completely absorbed in something that you're doing? I know some of you to know well enough. Betty's got a hand raised. I know Ram, you can get so absorbed that you forget about lunch and dinner and all of those other things in gardening. Many of you in writing as well. And a great number of you in meditation, in silence. Being so absorbed in that other things are on the sidelines. We talk about that a lot. It's a harmony between self and the task, whatever it is. There's yourself. There's the task. We maybe shouldn't call it, we'll call it the action instead of the task. Harmony between self and the action. It's very creative. Remember, in Unity, we talk about the law of mind action. Thoughts held in mind reproduce after their kind. Well, this ability to hold, to hang in there in flow, is a very creative thing. Gives birth to many divine ideas, gives actual production, manifestation of real things in life. Our philosopher said that there are some enemies of flow, and it relates to this absorption thing. And one of them is distraction. If you're distracted, you're not going to easily stay in the flow. You might get washed up on the banks of the river and wander off into the forest for a while. Of course, none of you ever do that. I know when you sit in the quiet, you keep your mind focused. Well, I know you don't, and I know I don't all the time. Another thing that is kind of an enemy of flow is, that's kind of my pet peeve too, multitasking. Such a great idea, supposedly, for productivity in business, but when you're multitasking, you can't become fully present to whatever activity is the first one in front of you. So, being able to focus on that one thing and be present to that, critical. Of course, not only the things that are enemies of flow, we look on the other side of it and we notice something that we often talk about, mindfulness. Mindfulness. That idea of deep presence and non-resistance. You're mindful to whatever's right in front of you. You become absorbed in that and allow other things to be on the sidelines. But that absorption isn't being absorbed in something outside of yourself. As we often talk, it's being absorbed with what comes through you. We talk about the Christ within, that divine presence that's within us, that is the source of that flow. And so we become absorbed in spiritual practice in the flow, and so we say we're in the flow from a spiritual perspective as well as a psychological perspective. Absorption, one of those characteristics. Another one, I like this one. Time disappears. Whoops, sorry about that. Time disappears. It's like I was going through this linear day, and then suddenly I lost it. I got in the flow, and time didn't mean what it meant, usually. We allow the flow to carry us right into the present. No, better yet, the flow is, in fact, the present. It's a state of being, but not only a state of being, but a state of becoming as well. We set our timepieces aside, and we allow the flow to happen. And there are certain activities that each of us has that is the entree to that flow. For me, it's writing. I love to write. Sadly, I sometimes say to myself, oh, I don't have time to sit down and write. I have the concept in my mind, but I don't have time to sit down and do it. But when I am able to do that, that timelessness takes over, and an hour or two has passed. I'm fortunate to be taking a writing class right now at the college. It's on personal history, but that's not especially why I'm there. I love it because it kind of makes me get to that place that's at the edge of flow where I can get in that. Now, each of you have a different way of stepping into that flow, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's nonetheless common that you are surrendering to a divine current that just makes you lose track of time as we know it. We enter into timelessness. So not only absorption and time disappearing, flow is an action or an activity that's performed for its sake alone and nothing more. Let's take spiritual practice to start with. I doubt that any of you take the spiritual practices that are part of you and say, I'm doing this because something else good is going to happen when I do it. We don't write our gratitude list because we say, well, if I write my gratitude list, no, you're there for that gratitude and that gratitude list alone. You're there for that meditation and that meditation alone. The flow is an activity performed for its own sake. It's funny because it's something that doesn't. There's no striving going on to make that happen. You're just in that zone. Somebody, who was it yesterday? Frosty, I know Frosty's here. She talked about being in the zone, and another way of expressing that. I like to think that it has something to do with heart's desires and life purpose, because that's where we really find our unique entree to flow. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes, the wisdom literature of the Hebrew scriptures, that says, I'm going to quote it like it says it at first, and then I'm going to change it. Oh, well, I think there's a truth in it. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might. This is the old King James Version. I say, whatsoever thy heart findeth to do, give yourself to it with all of your might. Give yourself to that flow. Surrender to it. You're doing this for its sake alone, being in that flow. The example that I have that I really like, as well as my own of writing, is being a performance artist. Have you ever seen that performing artist? They're just so into whatever their instrument is or their voice is, that they're lost in it. The time doesn't mean anything to them. They're absorbed, and it's for that purpose alone, nothing else. But you can also have that same experience when you're listening to music. I really love it when this flow connects with our spiritual practice, with our meditation. There's a Psalm 64, that talks about that and the connection with the divine within us. It uses the river metaphor. There is a river, says Psalm 64, whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy place where the Most High dwells. There is a river, a current flowing through us that connects us with the divine that we are. So how do we identify those activities that are going to help us find flow? First of all, they're not work at all. I'm prone to writing lists of work to do. But the good stuff happens when I'm kind of away from the list for a minute, and I just allow myself to be in the flow. Don't have to do any work. I wrote a few lines many years ago. And as I was looking at that poetry again, I realized it said what I would say right now. So let me read to you. My work, when with the river, is no work at all. I'm used to striving, setting tasks, showing how diligent I am. Here, I may only be a minute part of a circle, of a whole no circle holds. If I must fashion for myself a task, it is to be aware, alert, perhaps, to see what is, or make a natural move. Then there is joy at sights or sounds or energies found new. This is my work. A work that is not much of a work at all. It's not work, it's just being able to find that entry point into the flow. We've mentioned meditation, silence, spiritual practice. But there are other things, and this may be for you. Cooking, gardening, hiking, running, swimming, gaming even. I don't know about that one, but it's said that it's so. Yoga, painting, crafts, flow. And if I would ask my wife, she would say dancing. Yes, she's nodding her head. Good. So don't get lost in saying, I don't have time to do that thing that is the unique you. Enter the flow. Enter the flow. This is also possible on a collective or a corporate level. I was amazed a while ago. Tom was playing the song Amen by Daniel Nahmad. It didn't come through on our speakers here in the room. And we often wonder about technology. But the miraculous thing was those of you sitting here in this room began singing that together, and it actually eclipsed the music that was being played. Collectively, we were in a flow for that period of time. What a great example, because it happened right here and right now. I'm impressed by, and Tom, you can get ready. Do you think you'll be able to play the? We're going to give it a try. So there's a group of high schoolers that in this day and age, the time of COVID, when I think this was created, they got together and sang a song as a choir, a lot of them. And they had to do this with two things. They had to listen and they had to let go. You're going to see this on the screen in just a second. You'll see all of these high schoolers just focused on this song with earbuds in their ears because they're hearing the basic soundtrack, and then they're singing along together. But it doesn't become each of them singing a song. It becomes they as a collective, as a whole, a group experience that flow, that just absorption with the thing, the sense of timelessness. Let's just take a minute and play that if we can, Tom. Listening and letting go. I hope that that will be true for us as a community, to listen to each other, to the voice of Spirit, listening with inner ears, letting go, and allowing ourselves to be just pulled into the flow. It's a marvelous possibility because of the divinity we are, as well as the humanity. And so it is.
Yes, it is so. There was something that came up for me, but I'm trying to remember what it was right now. I'm in between that space and this space. And hopefully, if I remember, I will share it. It is time for our tithes and offerings. Unity of Payson is a source of spiritual nourishment and inspiration. Let us in this community receive gratefully, and give gracefully. We appreciate your gifts and support of the ministry. These gifts also go out to the larger community. If you're here in person, we have placed a basket by the door to receive your gift. We encourage you to place your gift before or after the service, as you choose. And for those online or those who wish to make a recurring gift, you may donate at our website, unityofpayson.org. We also have giving information on the slide. So let's say our giving affirmation together with me now. Freely we give and freely we receive. And we thank you for your support. Our special music today is Gotta Be True by Daniel Nahmad.
Am I nervous? Of course I am. You don't even have to ask. Facing a mystery, anyone would be. One more step and it's out of my hands. There can be no turning back. Can't say what's in front of me. You know I can't wait to see. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, it's just gotta be true. Oh yeah. I remember, of course I do, how I used to hear my heart, what I most wanna be, what I most long to see. Well, that voice has faded so far away. I hardly recognize myself. What happened to me? No wonder I couldn't breathe. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't know what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be, yeah, it's just gotta be true. It's been a lifelong habit, gave away my power, playing follow the leader again and again. Well, my soul won't have it, I won't hide or cower. I'm ready to dive back in. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. This is something I owe to myself. This is something I've just gotta do. I don't care what I'll find, but there's one thing I know about my life. It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true. It's gotta be true.
Amen. All right, it's time for the dedication of our offering. We're grateful for all the gifts that we give and the divine promise of abundance. We bless the gifts and we bless the givers as we say together, divine love flows through us, blessing and multiplying all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. We are prosperous without limit, and we are grateful. And so it is. Amen. Next Sunday's speaker is Rev Neal Worthington. Letting go, letting flow. Trusting the current of life is the talk title. I will share a few announcements. We're good with time. That's nice. Qigong and Tai Chi with Teresa, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:30 on Zoom, the same channel. Go to unityofpayson.org and click on the blue Zoom link. We have our writers group coming up this Tuesday, the second and fourth Tuesdays, from 4 to 5:15 p.m. It's called The Renewed Pen because we've had it in the past and it's being renewed. So please join us if you love to write. If you love to write, that's the only requirement. And we have on Saturdays morning coffee at 9:30 and Soul Boost at 4 p.m. with Reverend Neal. And we're going to have a PS from Reverend Neal right now.
I won't talk about more announcements, except for one. Rick has back there what's called a vial of life. This is something Kindness has put together. Kindness Works for All. And go talk to him about it and get one, for either for yourself or someone else who might put this vial of life, which will have vital information, stored in a freezer in case it's ever needed. Talk to Rick about that. He's got them back there, and he'll give you all the scoop on it. Another big milestone is that we're not going to be here in this space very much longer. So we have been looking diligently, and we are down to two options, and the board has made a recommendation with regard to them. One option, of course, would be to be completely virtual, not have a space. And the other option is to relocate at 110 East Bonita Street. It's a space that meets the requirements that we have. It's a space that it meets our budget. It's a space that many people have been by a different name. We're sharing space at the Democratic headquarters. That's a little bit bold, a little bit interesting, and I've tussled with this in my own sense of guidance for near a month now. But we have an agreement ready for us that says that all that we're expected of. One of the nice things about the space is that we can have it if we're able to schedule it, and it's not scheduled in conflict with any other activities, any other classes or activities in the space, as well as being there on Sunday morning. So your board has made the recommendation to sign that agreement and move to 110 East Bonita. What's that? Yeah, it would be the first Sunday in May at this point. And a letter will come out to all of the voting membership this afternoon, because we do want your feedback. It's not, the board recommends, but it's the voting membership that will be the deciding factor. So take a look in your email at that and reply, please. Reply and say, I affirm what we're doing, or I can't affirm what we're doing, and I affirm going completely virtual. So we have a couple of options. You can probably get the idea that you know where I am. there's some interesting things about being there, but there also may be opportunities, and I'm seeing opportunity in them, and that's what my excitement. And as I said, the board is making that recommendation. You'll get that letter. Please reply immediately, because the board will meet again on Tuesday, and that will be time when we'll get a real sense of what our direction is from the voting membership of Unity of Payson. And that's all of you who are here, and all who are listening online, and people who even aren't here today. Donna? Oh, yes. And next week is virtual only. So this just, so everybody knows that there will be an activity in this space next Sunday. The golf club has an activity, and so we will be virtual only next Sunday. But as far as we know, the following 2 Sundays in April, we will be in this space physically as well. And even if you're with us virtually, pray with us as we make these moves and move ahead. I want to see us flourish. I see it. I see it. And I'm grateful. Anyway, you can always talk to me as well. Please talk to me about any question you may have, or other board members may be able to answer your question as well. Again, just sharing that with you before the end of our service. So look for that email and get right back to us. And we have, do we have music now? I think we had music the last time. I think it may be the strength of the internet signal that's having something to do with all of this. Well, yeah, we're going to close the service. Tom is going to give us the slides up here again. And the prayer for protection, if you're here with us, please stand as we say the prayer for protection, and then we'll sing the closing song. If you're with us virtually, hang in there, because I'd love to greet you. And if you're sing a little bit of the closing song and socialize as you need to if you're here in person. Here we go, prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And our closing song is Song in My Soul by Karen Drucker.
There is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. There is a song in my soul. It sings I am whole. Everywhere I go, it sings I am whole. 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 I am whole, I am whole, I am whole, I am whole. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. There is a song in my soul, it sings I am healed. I take a breath and know that I am healed. I am healed, 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 I am healed. There is a song in my heart, it sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. There is a song in my heart. It sings I am loved. It whispers in my ear that I am loved. 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 I am loved.
Let's socialize.
So the music may be in the background or not, but I would like to get a gallery view so we can see who's with us virtually and I can greet you. By the way, there's this Vial of Life. That's what it looks like. Go see Rick if you're here. Okay. So that is Jim. Jim, I think it's you and Nancy. Is that right? Jim and Nancy?
Yes, it is.
I'm not hearing you, but just nod your head. Jim, is it you and Nancy? Okay, good. Jim, and I
Yes.
see you kind of Nancy. in the
There is
side.
a
So
song
good.
in my soul. It
Ed.
sings I am loved.
Good
A
board
baby
president
gray
of
of
Unity of Payson, now up in Clay Springs, not in Ajo anymore. Thank you, Ed. Thank you for your leadership. Mary Ann Gardner, I was thinking about you, Mary Ann, when we were talking about music and how important that is to being in the flow. Thank you for the example you set on that. I love it. Teresa, thanks for sharing with us your experience. I know that the values that people out there were demonstrating about have some similarities to ours. We're different. We're unity. But thank you for sharing that with us. Bobby and John, my dear friends, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in person soon. Maybe we can, let's talk. Frosty, thank you. Of course, you had something to do with this, Frosty, because you were here at Saturday Soul Boost, as you often are, and I like that in the zone approach that you talked about. Sammy and probably Terry, I think, thank you for being here, and bless you all as you go on with your day, and we'll talk with you again soon. Maybe I'll give you a call. Bye-bye.